This is your homework. Go and find out where these companies are registered to, because I guarantee you they don't have any link to an actual business. God bless, good luck, and enjoy the video.
Damn, son. Welcome to another episode of Big Black Crypto, and we are going after SAFEMOON, MOONRAT, SAFEBTC, and SAFEMARS. What can I say? We got some real questions to answer. A lot of people don't know that 50% of the SAFEMOON supply is locked into the dev teams. So even though they're asking for donations, they've already got your donations. They've got your money, and in 4 years, you're going to find out exactly where that went. Here's an example of SAFEBTC. I mean, no matter how you cut it, you just got to face the facts, right? On the surface, you can fall for all the multi-level marketing, the balloons, the ribbons, the cake, the candles, the clever phrasings. But when you dive deeper into it, you really got to ask yourself, who are the faces behind these companies? Where are the creators, the devs? Like, you get mixed signals. I get do not buy signals. I get, if it's this difficult to try to acquire, why is it? It's got to be even harder to get rid of. And ironic thing was when I threw it up on Twitter, SafeBTC's site went down. This is MoonRat. Again, one of the reasons why when your friends message you and tell you like, hey, you got to get on this and you should get on that, before you go and pancake swap it, ask them what the protocol it is. Ask them what the liquidity distribution is like. Ask them if there's any so quote unquote reflection, because when you hear reflection, you got to understand what that really means. And all that is Ponzi kickback. That means everybody on the way in's got to pay their way to everybody who had to pay their way in as well. Everybody who's got to exit has a fee to pay as well, about 10%.
So I mean, when you realize that if you sell early, that means you got to wait till 50 years until you can get some of that B&B to kick back to you. So I mean, no matter how you look at it, there's a little something to screw everybody. Here's SafeBTC's website not working. That happens when you send out tweets to the SEC. So again, just kind of want to go over some of these SafeMoon specifics. Looking at price, there's somebody who's again lost some of their BTC. I try to bite my tongue when it comes to some of these other alts, but hey man, when you realize there's about 5 people in their team and now they've got about 4 coins, that means everybody's got their own little piggy bank, so to speak, depending on who's running and who's in charge of that token. It's something I haven't seen before. And it doesn't surprise me. As we get into more of these spaces, you're going to find yourself asking a lot of questions of some of these individuals. And of course, when we talk about liquidity, I got to get on the same page as y'all. And that's going to be, liquidity refers to the efficiency of ease with which an asset or security can be converted into ready cash without affecting its market price. Like, when we think about that notion, every day, you're losing value in your market price simply by having your token. It won't register until I read a particular article to you. And mind you, if you try to ask questions, as Buddy found out, you're not going to get many answers from the SafeMoon team, SafeMars team. SafeBTC's website just went down.
When you hold your BTC or your Bitcoin, you will receive more Bitcoin. To build the SafeMoon exchange, it will require resources. So today we're announcing our fundraiser. My name is John Caroni. I'm the CEO of SafeMoon. Thank you for watching. I'm John. I'm the CEO of SafeMoon. Today I'll be talking to you guys about the SafeMoon exchange. What makes the SafeMoon exchange great? Well, it's the application of tokenomics across all your cryptos. Now, for those of you who are new to cryptocurrency and you don't know what I'm talking about when I say tokenomics,
Pretty much you're just going to want to flip this model upside down. A lot of people are going to keep pitching. These people are going to pitch their tokens to these people, to that people, to this person, until it gets back here. And there's enough layers in between to where it doesn't register as a securities fraud. Or is it a securities fraud?
To build the SafeMoon exchange, it will require resources. So today we're announcing our fundraiser. My name is John Caroni. I'm the CEO of SafeMoon. Thank you for watching.
Feels like a Ponzi. Flip it upside down, bro. Pyramid's a pyramid. Fuck how you sell it. So, I mean, you could take a look for yourself. I'm going to show you a few sites on where you can, get a better understanding what a Ponzi scheme is. But, big thing, they're always trying to attract new investors, new idiots into the pool, right? And that's all it is. Like, you don't know any better, so they're going to take advantage of you. And in the 3 articles, like, there's actually about 5 articles I've got listed down in the description section. And they're going to be important for you to learn so you can navigate this space safely. Because I promise you, there are people knowingly socially engineering opportunities in which to hack you. So again, it just impresses me how naive people are to trust their friends when it comes to money. But like, do you really trust your friends when it comes to money? Let's be smart. Let's make smart decisions. So you're probably wondering, what is SafeMoon? And as per the Sun, I don't know. I'm surprised to see these guys even cover these guys on the UK, but good on them for doing so. I think for people to understand is that SafeMoon is not a real cryptocurrency. It's a decentralized finance token. I know you're kind of like trying to figure out like, what do you mean? What's the difference? Well, there's no actual proprietary technology to it. It's literally a token. So this whole time, like, you're running around thinking like what you have is safe. It's safe until something happens. That's about it. As far as like the other thing too that's gonna be interesting. A lot of people haven't come across people trying to take their profits. There are people who have had issues selling the coin. So, that's up to you to find out. You're in it for how long you're in it for. If you only care about profit, great. I'm just pointing out the risks and making sure consumers are looked after. There's gonna be 5 things that they warn you about as far as investing in crypto, and about 90% of the people that invested in SafeMoon don't even realize that it's just a DeFi token. There's no tech to it. That's whatever. So you're gonna look so FCA has warned people about the risk of investing in cryptocurrencies. So you got to consider these things: consumer protection. Some investments advertising high returns based on crypto assets may not be subject to regulation beyond anti-money laundering requirements. So this is where they're operating in that gray zone. That there's nobody who's gonna help you, nobody who's gonna protect you, nobody's gonna try to get you your money back. If SafeMoon tanks, or if they decide to skim from, basically liquidate the top, or when it happens, it's gonna happen and it's gonna suck. I'm just giving you a heads up. The price volatility, significant price volatility in crypto assets combined with the inherent difficulties of valuing crypto assets reliably places consumers at a high risk of loss. So, they say only invest what you can afford. Great. But what about if you invested smartly and never put it in a position to get fucking lost? Like, why is that not a part of the conversation? Do your research and don't risk it in the first place. Great, you'll make money, but then do you always want to give power to things that are just kind of like thrown on the wall like spaghetti? Like, if it sticks, it sticks, but come on, man. Product complexity. The complexity of some products and services relating to crypto assets can make it hard for consumers to understand the risk. There is no guarantee that crypto assets can be converted back into cash. So for some people, they're about to find out the hard way. You might not be able to sell what you can sell. Like, there's, again, you might want to flip the toggle, make sure it's on the smart chain that you bought it from. But again, like, whatever happened to just buying things straight up? Why do I need to buy it from this exchange, to move it to that exchange, to swap it over here? Hopefully I'm swapping the right thing for the right thing. Like, I just see a lot of people getting had left, right, and center. The charges and fees, 10% kickback to those are investors. Like, when you're selling, I'm sorry, you shouldn't be getting taxed like that. That's fucked up. I don't care who you are. That's fucked up. Marketing materials. Firms may overstate the returns of products and understate the risk involved. So, although they claim to reward people who buy and hold on to the cryptocurrencies, but for those who sell the currency, they're gonna get the penalty, right? That 10% kickback. 5% is gonna get burned, and 5% is gonna get redistributed to everybody else. Like, to me, and I'm gonna look at this article, no matter how do you spin it. Multi-level marketing tactics like that, yeah, they definitely make this kind of investment very risky. But let's touch on this one because it reminds me of two things. Like, we say pyramid, but I also think like 8-ball as well. Like, the fuck you mean? This is what I mean, the 8-ball model. There's many types of pyramids, but the thing about this one is, like, prior instances of this scheme have been called the airplane game. So I constantly hear people refer to the cryptosphere as a game. Like, yo, this is how you play the game. It's not a fucking game. This is investments. This is money. You go lose 10K and tell me somebody doesn't knock on your fucking door. But it's a game, yo. This is how you play the game. You know what I'm saying? You put $100 here. You only invest what you can afford to lose. That's how you play it's not a fucking game. It's a game to you because you don't get hurt. These moon boys and pump channels aren't gonna be there when you can't put food in your fucking fridge. This is an adult conversation that needs to be had, and people keep taking it for granted. And it's like, well, when somebody gets hurt, what are you gonna say? And so such schemes may try to downplay their pyramid nature by referring to themselves as gifting circles with money being gifted. Others focus on sharing circles or educational themes around abundance to divert attention away from the unsustainable structure. So what do we have here? An unsustainable structure. People are going to pull out regardless, especially considering that there are people in that pool who are just waiting for that cap to hit $1 billion, waiting. And like, you might say like, oh, this is like any other, that's like any other. No. You are literally funding out somebody else's wallet right now. Whether it's SAFEMOON, SAFEBTC, whatever safe option comes next, like literally you are somebody else's piggy bank every time you contribute to that. Good luck selling. God bless you if you're able to get your money out in time, but don't come crying to me when you get had left, right, and center. And this is what's going to happen right now, right? You're going to get a wave of investors, and what's going to end up happening is, or people that think they're investors, we'll call them, may as well call them victims. And all you're going to see is them get straight Dracula protocoled. That's what's going to happen. And you got to ask yourself, what level are you here at, right? Are they at what? 340 million? Are they at 4 billion? Things to consider where you are on that food chain, because I guarantee you right now, you're not there. You're not there. They got what, 600,000 holders? You know where the fuck you are? You're right. You're in between this area right now. You're level 8, level 7. A lot of people don't think with this kind of perspective, and this is why they get retraced into infinity and just erased from the market. Yo, why is what I'm holding at 0? Well, you're gonna have to match it to something USD first just to see what the value of it is, hypothetically, if it still has a value, and you're not gonna be able to check on it over time. So it's like, what did you expect to happen, right? Like, everybody's pretty much waiting to see what happens. So God bless you. Yo, you're like, bro, let's be real. What else do we gotta know? I feel like this video just doesn't end there. We just don't stop at code and keep going. Well, the thing about their group, they say like, don't be racist, but then, I mean, what's the point of not being racist if you're gonna throw up these alt-right hand gestures, right? Like, they say happy Ramadan, but they don't mean that. It's like when you ask questions, do you think you're gonna get answers? No. Well, how about Binance or Whitebit ask them like, hey guys, why do you have
good
this
luck
technical
trying to
frog
sell
move?
your coins, bro.
Why is he throwing up the 3% sign? You know what I mean? And you see where that language kind of leads to when you ignore it. Even the Jewish Defense League isn't a fan of that shit. I got family. We haven't forgotten how far we've come. Hey, what's that? The same symbol that's in their fucking emojis. Huh, where did I see that? Things to consider, but will they answer for them? Is SafeMoon nothing more than a slush fund for far-right extremism? I don't know, but let's take a look at the dev team. Let's get to know who's who. So that's the CEO. You know what I mean? Again, me making the connection to far-right extremism isn't an indictment on anybody or on anybody's character, but it's just like you guys say like Happy Ramadan, but like yo, you guys don't mean it. You guys say don't be racist, but you guys don't really mean it. And by the way, the whole team is American, so like realistically, like they're very, very familiar with Pepe the Frog and what all right hand gestures symbolize. So they like play ignorant with somebody fucking else, not I. Next to him, but realistically, man, aside from him, I don't really know who else like has much value in the dev team. I'm just saying, like that 50% of the wallet is probably his holding. So this is Jackie Haynes. Make sure you get to know the face. If your coin don't got a face, he's been at it since like probably like or a name, old, so don't put like, money down on that. He's a really talented individual. He's actually the one. A few weeks ago, I swear, SafeMoon didn't have no faces, so no dev team on this shit. Magically, they got faces in different places. Fairly, like, interesting, novel, grassroots things. Like I've gone through hierarchies of different like extremist groups. He's very low on the totem pole. Also, I'm not calling them an extremist group. I'm just simply wondering which one of these coins belongs to them and which ones they're like the slush fund kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because people are going to get rinsed and wrecked. Like, look at these guys. They say they want to do something for Africa. Bullshit. You made a whole merch store, but ain't done shit for Africa. But you want to work with Africa. You want to make people wait till Q4 to see any kind of effort. Oh, yeah, we're going to do scholarships. By the time you guys are in Africa, that money's fucking gone. Could be wrong. I doubt it. You know, I got to touch on this article because literally all day as I have tried to finish this video. I've probably started this video like sometime the day before, and I just constantly get inundated with new information and different perspectives. But this article is one I got to touch on. It's by the crypto analyst SafeMoon's Liquidity Injection in Action. And he really does break down to an extent as to why SafeMoon is a terrible project. Essentially, he told readers that SafeMoon's liquidity injection actively devalues the value of SafeMoon, and that they're handing over the value over to the devs. And you're like, what do you mean? Well, here he touches on how there's 800 new BNB added to the liquidity pool, and the value of BNB has risen. Despite these facts, both of which would ordinarily mean that the price of SafeMoon should grow by a lot, we see that the price of SafeMoon has actually fallen. So 2 days ago, it was valued at 7.6 million, 21.8 trillion, which is equal to 0.35 or whatever, right? And today is valued at 32, 10% drop in value. Even though the number of BNB in the pool has risen and the value of each BNB has also risen. How can this be? I think it's a scam. Get out while you can. Head for the hills. Pack the bags. Save everything you can and head for the hills. Damn, son. And you're like, what do you mean? Well, he's already written another article on this topic, but let's keep it moving. So half of the SafeMoon protocol takes 5% of each transaction. It sells half of that, or 2.5%, and that sale decreases the value of SafeMoon. And that happens regularly, so that the value of SafeMoon continually falls, even when new investors come in. Because see, to me, when I was looking at it, I'm like, yo, you guys got 600,000 hodlers, but yo, you're literally like hovering at like 97 million. Like, I don't get it. And then all of a sudden you've got like, 800,000 hodlers, and you're sitting at like close to what number am I looking at here that's accurate in terms of what you guys are worth, like in terms of overall market cap? Whatever. But we keep it moving, keep it pushing, right? So the net result is that 5% of each SafeMoon transaction is automatically given to the SafeMoon team. Unless they burn it, they don't. Or redistribute it to the community, they don't. This means that your transactions directly enrich the SafeMoon team. Whether they intended
for that or not, they seem like honest people. So I think maybe they just don't realize how bad the protocol they designed really is. Damn, maybe Thomas isn't who we thought he was. Maybe Jackie got to go back to the drawing board. I don't know, Hank. Talk to me, Hank. Say it ain't so, Hank. Mr. Hanky. Mr. Hanky. Mr. Hanky. Should have brought a towel. And it seems a common response to this from SafeMoon people on Discord is, but the LPs are locked. First, this is only partially true, but even if 100% of the LPs were auto-locked, it would still not be a good response. That's how I felt. Let's continue. The lock doesn't change the fact that the liquidity injection devalues the SafeMoon. Damn! 2, even if there is a 4-year lock on the LPs, those LPs still belong to the devs. At the end of 4 years, this token is still around. The devs will own these LPs. Doesn't matter if they're doxxed, they already own it. To think that they will suddenly burn all of it or redistribute it to the community at the end of 4 years is wishful thinking. I just showed you that they don't have a connection to Africa. They don't give a fuck about Africa. They got the, little far right extremist hand gesture up there in everybody's face, plain sight to see. Yeah, they want to wish you happy Ramadan, brother. Yo, please tell me some of y'all are going to wake up and hear this and make the right decision. And be honest. Tell me, how hard was it for you to sell your SafeMoon, SafeMars, SafeBTC, and fucking Moonrat? Don't get wrecked. Don't get had. Get out while you can. There are better alts of actual use case and proper utility that will circulate whether or not the market is bearish or bullish. You want to have your money constantly in play because it'll constantly have value. That's how you pick a good tokenized product. This isn't a game. Next time somebody tells you it's a game, like spit in their face. I don't know how else to put it. This is investing. There's real realities being affected by this. There are people who've worked decades to see this become a professional environment. And it's time we start, taking it for real, right? Because there's great opportunities in dealing in digital assets and crypto-related currencies. But it's also, a dangerous space to play in if you don't do your own research. So take what I say seriously. Understand that, what you do doesn't affect me. But honestly, though, when we start, throwing money at a lot of these pump and dump coins, it does affect the market. And I think it's time we start treating some of these pump and dump channels for the security frauds they are. Internet fraud is an aspect of this. Saying something is going to be of an insane value over time when in reality it's more than just high risk. It's an absolute lie. You know what I mean? Spamming different channels and discords to drive traffic, creating bots to do your dirty work. Nobody's fooled. And everybody knows where it kind of points back to. And guess what happens? The people just get wrecked. When one coin doesn't pump, it's on to the next coin to pump. When that one's done pumping, we'll pump to the next coin. And somebody's constantly, the last person out is going to be the person who gets hurt the most. When someone gets retraced into infinity, heaven forbid these guys do wallets and those wallets gets hacked. Who are you going to go to get your money back? 3 out of those 4 coins that I've mentioned don't have a face on them. SafeMoon is the only one where you'll find a dev team, and one of those dev members doesn't have a face. Do you think your government's going to help you get your money back from these Americans that are running these little Ponzi's? I'm just saying, yo. Don't get got, don't get had. Secure the bag. This is Big Black Crypto, and thank you for your time and patience. Y'all have a great day. Ciao.
Now, when it comes to Ponzi's, here's some notable examples of ones that have been brought forth by the SEC, and as well ones that have resulted in actual charges. This one is of Sean Cutting, I believe. And, you know, that's 6.9 mil. You can read up on it. The links are in the description if you want to read the full PDF on so you can better protect yourself in the cryptocurrency market. There's an example of 3 other individuals charged with asset fraud. And who, look at that, T.I. I don't know if any of y'all remember that, but yes, he too was charged. So people do get charged. So please do your own research and understand where your money's flowing, who's in control of it, and who you might actually end up defunding in the long grand scheme of things, because it doesn't look good when they kind of flirt with those kind of ideologies and indifferences. I mean, I'm not for that. I'm not supporting that. I'm not co-signing that. You give power to the things you put your money behind, and I don't support far-right extremism. I think that goes without saying. So the footage you're about to see may be sensitive to some viewers, but it's important you understand what that hand gesture really represents. Thank you. Good day.
He murdered 51 people in cold blood. Today, Brenton Tarrant showed no emotion when he was led into court.
Have you anything to say why sentence should not be passed upon you according to law?
His attacks on 2 Christchurch mosques are New Zealand's deadliest terrorist incident. As sentencing began, armed police were on standby, while survivors and the families of victims addressed the terrorist for the first time.
You terrorized the whole New Zealand and saddened the whole world. You killed your own humanity. And I don't think the world will forgive you for your horrible crime against humanity.
Calling his victims invaders, Tarrant planned to kill as many people as he could. Armed with 6 guns, he drove to Al Noor Mosque, where he live-streamed the slaughter of 44 Muslims, including a 3-year-old child. Maysoon Salama and Mohammed's son Atta was also among the dead.
Atta is gone, but never forgotten. He will always be the light of our lives, and we will live his legacy every day.
Burying one dead friend is heartbreaking. How about burying a one of a kind? A one of a kind that is my son, Atta, and 49 beloved brothers and sisters in one go. No words can describe what my heart experienced at that time and still experiencing.
From Al Noor, the terrorists sped to Linwood Islamic Centre, killing 7 more worshippers. He'd intended to burn the buildings down. Before the massacres, he'd surveilled his targets with drones. He was arrested en route to attack a 3rd mosque. Those he terrorized refused to be beaten.
I was shot 9 times by the gunmen. I do not foresee a future where I will be without pain. However, I am determined to find a positive way forward to overcome the pain.
Tarrant's admitted 51 counts of murder, 40 of attempted murder, and a terrorism charge, and is expected to hear his sentence on Thursday. He could be the first person in New Zealand to get life in prison without parole. Siobhan Robbins, Sky News.
So yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's why it's really, really hard for me to turn a blind eye to what I see. And what I have seen is a reason for me to not invest and to divest from anything SAFEMOON, SAFEMARS, SafeBTC, and MoonRat related. I don't trust those guys worth shit, man. Sorry, that's how I feel.
Desperately fighting for his life. A rioter sprays a chemical at police. Then it gets worse. This was the horrifying scene on Wednesday inside an entrance on the west side of the Capitol. At one point, a rioter tries to pry the gas mask off an officer's face. The rioters organized their push, even chanting in unison. Then, sheer terror. An officer crushed against a door frame, pleading for help. We spoke with John Farina, a photojournalist for a media outlet called Status Coup, who recorded this video.
There was absolutely no talking to them. Nothing fazed them, and there was no one main person, one main leader that could have calmed that mob down.
Farina told us rioters ripped shields and batons out of officers' hands and seemed to get more organized as they went along.
People were hurt and being crushed, so whenever somebody was hurt, they would kind of like pull them out of there, and they would walk out themselves, but then they would say, we need more people, we need fresh patriots, so they would just kind of like rotate in.
Eventually, the police pushed the mob back. Former Washington Police Chief Charles Ramsey, a CNN analyst, says he contacted current D.C. Police Chief Robert Conti, who Ramsey says confirmed to him that the officer seen being crushed is a Washington police officer, not a Capitol Hill officer. As for the officer's condition,
he went through an MRI and there was nothing broken. I mean, so he's sore as hell. There's no question about that.
we reached out several times to the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police and...
Now just tell us, man. Tell the people, is that how you really feel, Safe Moon? Tell us. No, you ain't got to tell us. We can see that's how you feel. And I got a good feeling like there's going to be a place for the slush fund. It's probably going to be in some far-right extremist hands. Fuck it, I said it. So, I mean, you tell me what's so safe about these guys. What's so safe about someone controlling 50% of the LP and possibly running off with all the B&B that you've been waiting on? That's what it really looks like, B. Let's keep it real. Walk off, baby.
So yeah, like, subscribe, and invest responsibly. It's not a game.